I'm Juliet. I live in the United States of America, Los Angeles, California to be exact, but I had the unique opportunity of spending last spring working overseas. I was a jazz singer at the lounge in the Intercontinental Hotel in Cairo, Egypt.
Let's run away together. Let's leave tonight. This dream could last forever. So hold on tight, darling.
And while I was there for the 3 months living, I was meeting people from all over the world. Europe, Asia, Africa, and the rest of the Middle East. But the single most profound experience I had was this. When people would ask me where I was from, I'd say I'm from the States. And they would get this wistful look. And they would reply, ah, the dream.
What is the cultural definition of an American? The sociological, the psychological, what's the mindset of the American? I want people to become more intimately aware of what it means to be an American through this piece.
I would be proud to be American. For myself, I think it's American people is what I call this great. They whatever they think, they just say it.
People in America are badass.
They're very straightforward.
Same to do with in Tokyo?
Yes.
More straightforward in America than they are?
In my country, they can't say what they think.
I see in jazz these three aspects that to me seem particularly American. And that would be innovation, improvisation, and a sense of discipline.
Jazz is America's really true cultural music because it was born here. What happened was a lot of the players, they've been playing in the big band.
Lewis and I talked about the motivation of the players in their leaps in innovation throughout the history of jazz.
Think they got restricted there?
Well, they were restricted, so what they did was they developed these really complex melodies and made it difficult for a lot of cats to sit in.
They raised the bar.
They raised the bar.
They raised the standards.
They raised the standards.
I'll make it better. I'll make it sweet. How could you let her and not let me? I get inside you. I fortify you. I know you've been lied to before. I'll make it better.
Boom, boom, boom. Everything was sort of timed in American lifestyle.
We're time-oriented.
Yes.
Yeah, my cab driver in Cairo, this is funny. He didn't understand what it meant to say 2:15 or 3:15, but he knew at 3 o'clock or 3:30. And he always made me commit to a certain time, whether it was 3 o'clock or 3:30. And if I was 5 minutes late, he'd be off.
There's a word that's always been used as arrogance.
Okay, what do you think
I
about
don't know
that?
it's so much arrogance. It's just that we as Americans, we're so used to goods and services being performed and delivered in a certain manner, and we project that.
Even
We're
in other
secure,
countries, 'cause
and we
on.
project that. We project that. There's,
I think so.
There's a sense of really being
Confidence.
confidence and being really comfortable.
And confidence can be interpreted as arrogance, especially by people who don't have the same material goods.
Most people outside of Americans are always quick to label Americans arrogant, conceited, self-centered, and individuals who think that the world revolves around our country. In one sense, it is true. This means that we don't settle for less for anything. Americans are prideful without disdain. It is simply true of the idiom, if America sneezes, the whole world has a cold.
Iris was the messenger of the gods. When I met Ornette Coleman and met James Bloodover and that whole scene, Well, they thought I was like an advanced jazz artist. And they started to play with me.
Iris expressed to me her unique spirituality as distinctly American, as it's ever innovative and staunchly individual.
If you're free and you have the ability to make your own choice, you have your will, your own free will, then you can work out karma. When I was sleeping, there would be on my right side a little man that would show me how to play the keyboard. When I woke up in the morning, it was like I knew how to play the piano.
Wow, that's precious.
Yeah, it was really mysterious.
Do you think any of these essences that you described in yourself are typically American, such as your propensity to explore and to try new things, your openness?
Yes.
And the fact that these great musicians, these established musicians, were so ready to take you in.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Feel that way? Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel very privileged because I don't know what other country in the world I would be still living and still able to have the freedom to go from being a mother to a therapist, which I was for 10 years, a bioenergetic therapist, and then to go into the jazz world and be totally accepted, and then to be accepted by the top jazz musicians in New York. I mean, where else could this happen except in this country? You know, that we're so free and we're allowed to improvise our life and invent ourselves. I am privileged, deeply privileged and grateful to be an American.
I set out to explore from other jazz artists the relationship between the inherently American traits of improvisation, evolving from our love of freedom, to the discipline rooted in our adherence to structure.
We were talking about the inherent contradiction of freedom and discipline being both part of jazz.
Okay.
And in the 60s, I think it was, they came up with what they called free jazz, which was all spontaneous, and I can do that too, and it has its place. Actually, you're more free if you have a structure, because then you have two choices. If there's no structure, then you're free, you only got one choice, and that's just to do whatever you're doing. It's just out there. But if you have a structure, like say you have a C chord, okay, now you got a choice whether to play that C chord like this, like this, like that, like that.
So having the structure affords you a different kind of freedom.
Yeah. The freedom then either exactly to match the structure or to superimpose something
So
different.
two choices instead of one, you're saying?
That's the way I see it.
How do you feel that it fits in with the American character? You see that?
Well, the idea, of the, I think that you have the two concepts again. You have the rugged individualism, the individuality, uniqueness, which America was founded on the idea of free enterprise. Then you have the team player.
Or a jazz combo.
Yeah. You're working as a team. You have to be, it's a spiritual thing. You have to be merged into one.
American woman, stay away from me. American woman.
How do you feel that we're kind of different? Anything.
Different from what? The rest of the world?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess there's more freedom here.
Yeah.
You can get away with being gay in most parts of America.
No, I wouldn't say I'm conservative. I wouldn't say I'm liberal. I'm bald.